From the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana, the 2023-24 season for the Miami men kicks off on the road for the second straight year. The RedHawks take on the Evansville Purple Aces in year 2 of the Travis Steele era at Miami. Luke Poley with you here on RedHawk Radio. So glad you could join us for our late tip here tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central here in southwestern Indiana as the RedHawks begin their season. RedHawks starters just announced a moment ago, and it's a very different-looking Miami team than what the team looked like a season ago. 3 transfers in the starting lineup for this RedHawk team. Only 2 returners, 2 sophomores, Ryan Mabry and Jaquel Morris, on the center and point guard from last year's team for the Miami starting lineup. The rest of the guys, Bradley Dean, Darwishi Hunter, and Bryce Boltman, 3 grad transfers that bring in some veteran presence for this RedHawk team. Travis Steele and the coaching staff. Bradley Dean, the guard from Gate City, Virginia, was a Division II All-American and the SAC Player of the Year last year out of UVA Wise. 14.8 points per game for him last season at the Division II level. For Darwishi Hunter, the 6'5" wing graduate student transferred in. He's got MAC experience. He spent his last 2 seasons at Northern Illinois. He is from Phoenix, Arizona, but played his high school ball in Cincinnati at both Princeton High School and Don Prep, both programs very familiar to this Miami team. He was a double-digit scorer in the MAC last season. Finally, for the RedHawks, the newest transfer, Bryce Boltman, the graduate student from McKendree. First-team All-Region player at the Division II level. He was the GLVC Freshman of the Year a few years ago, brought McKendree to 2 NCAA tournaments, their first 2 in program history, and he was a double-digit scorer at the Division II level as well. For Evansville, a team in a very similar boat compared to Miami. They're under a second-year head coach in David Garland. He's got 12 newcomers this year, hit the portal very, very hard, and it's a starting 5 that also will not look the same this year for Evansville than what Purple Ace fans have been used to. Antonio Thomas, Cam Hafner, Yassine Toomey, Ben Humricos, and Kenny Strawbridge Jr., the starting 5 for the Purple Aces. Same as the RedHawks, they bring back 2 guys in their starting lineup this year, those being Strawbridge and Toomey. Thomas, Hafner, and Humricos, all new guys added out of the transfer portal for David Garland and his coaching staff. Season opener for both of these teams here on opening night. RedHawks are in the red uniforms, all red with the white numbers, white Miami in block across the front, and the white numbers on the front and back with the white accents striped diagonally along the side of the shorts. New uniforms, a fresh look for this RedHawk team. For Evansville, they are in the home white uniforms with the purple and orange accents, the classy look, and a retro color scheme for this Evansville team. They open things up in front of a crowd at Ford Center that's about a third full, an arena that seats 10,000, very cavernous. About 3,000 expected to be in attendance here tonight from McCutcheon Court at the Ford Center. Miami will move right to left in the opening half of play. Evansville moving left to right, 20 minutes on the clock. For the Purple Aces, they beat Wabash in an exhibition a couple of weeks ago by 10 for Miami. This is the first that the RedHawks will see court action against another team in a public game this season. Here we go. The tip-off is between Yassine Toomey and Jaquel Morris for Miami. The sophomore center is going to have to take over Anderson Marambo's role, who's out for the time being. The tip-off is won by Evansville, and we are underway. Off we go on the 2023-24 season. Toomey has it at the right elbow for the Aces. He will hand this one off for Antonio Thomas, circling on the right side. Short pass over for Hafner, tees up for 3, and knocks it down. Cam Hafner, the transfer from Eastern Illinois, his dad holds the point-scoring record in a game here at UE, and he makes the first bucket of the season for the Aces. 3-0, 30 seconds in. First possession on offense for Miami, and it's Bradley Dean handling it around half court, but a charge called away from the ball, an offensive foul, and the RedHawks will turn it over with 19:27 to go in the first half. Bryce Boltman, the McKendree transfer, picks up the first personal foul of the game. Evansville walking it back up court, 3-0 Aces, just over 30 seconds in. Top of the arc, Hafner surveys, feeds Toomey on the right side of the three-point line. He goes into the corner for Thomas, now back out for Toomey. 17 to shoot, slips one down low, down the lane, threaded in, Antonio Thomas. Or rather, that was Cam Hafner that got free, and he lays it in with the left hand to put Evansville up 5-0. 19:02 remaining in the first half. Boltman controlling right of the key for Miami. Pushes over to the right corner for Ryan Mabry. Mabry goes right elbow for Morris. He tried to feed it over to Boltman. It deflected off his hand, nearly turned it over, but Evansville will knock it out of bounds inadvertently, and it will stay with Miami. 15 to shoot. 18:53 to go in the first half. The RedHawks down 5-0. Boltman to inbound for the RedHawks. Looking, nothing's open. Finally, he feeds for Darwishi Hunter on the near side. He'll walk it back out and go over for Bradley Dean outside the arc. Dean goes in at the key for Morris, and his pass got intercepted for Thomas. He runs the floor, bobbles, throws it back in, going out of bounds, and it's right into the hands of Jaquel Morris for Miami, who settles. 18:36 to go first half. 5-0 Aces. Jaquel Morris has it top of the key. He hands off for Hunter. Fakes the shot, jab step, now pushes over for Mabry. Mabry back near wing for Hunter. He tees up for three and connects. Darwishi Hunter, transfer from Northern Illinois, puts Miami on the board. It's 5-3, nearly 2 minutes in. Evansville back on the offensive end. A wild jumping pass from Hafner finds Toomey on the far side, tries to drive left of the lane. Now he'll make his way in, floats one up off the glass. It's no good, too strong, and the rebound wiped off the board by Darwishi Hunter. Hunter ahead for Mabry, tried to run the floor. He'll have to pull it back out. Now Boltman threads right down the lane, feeds Morris, and he slams it down with two hands. Miami looking for Jaquel Morris to take a big step. Those are his first points of the season, and we're tied at 5 with 17:46 to go in the first half. Humrikas, long pass to the near side. Strawbridge Jr. catches it on a hop, and he is fouled by Darwishi Hunter as he tried to drive down the baseline. Hunter's first personal foul, second as a team for the RedHawks, and it comes with 17:41 to go in the first half. Evansville jumped out to a 5-0 lead, but the RedHawks rubber banding back, and it's 5-5. Miami making the first two subs of the game. They'll bring on the freshman Evan Ipsaro as he comes on for Jaquel Morris. Evansville back on the offensive end, 15 to shoot. Thomas running all the way around, couldn't drive the baseline on Ipsaro. Now he'll fade from 10 feet and knock it down in Ipsaro's face. Antonio Thomas played his last 2 years at Kentucky Wesleyan. After a couple years at Bradley, he's back in the Missouri Valley, and he's got the Aces up 7-5. Darwishi Hunter has it top of the key for Miami. Crossing back and forth, looking for an option. He goes Mabry on the far side. Thought about the three. Now he drives in. It got stripped away from him. Ball is loose on the floor. It's picked up by Evansville. And now Toomey runs the other way. Toomey will settle down. Waiting at the free throw line. Now backs up to the top of the key. He'll hand this one off to Humrikas. Ben Humrikas driving. Kicks to the corner. Three sent up from the far side. Rattles in and out from Hafner. And the rebound picked up for Miami by Darwishi Hunter. Hunter quickly ahead. Bryce Boltman trying to drive baseline with his back turn. He now circles, fakes from just outside the arch, and now has to throw it back out. Hunter back for Boltman in the near corner. Now back for Hunter with 14 to shoot. On the near side for Miami, this is Reese Potter. The freshman just tosses one up, and that clatters away. Rebound picked up by Humrikas for UE. Pass forced ahead for Toomey. Right elbow, he goes back outside the arc for Humrikas. Humrikas over for Thomas, and now Toomey right of the key. Toomey with 15 to shoot. Tries to drive in, now floats it back outside for Thomas. He secures it left of the key, drives in, left elbow, goes behind the back, lost it on the dribble. It's taken away by Ipsaro, and he is fouled by Thomas, who reached in on him as he was trying to run the floor. 16:04 to go first half, and our score Aces 7 and Miami 5. First personal foul on Thomas. Miami will now bring out Ryan Mabry and bring on another freshman, Makai Cooper from Bolingbrook, Illinois, making his first appearance as a RedHawk. Highly touted three-point shooter. We'll see some time this season for the RedHawks. They've also got Reese Potter out there, the big 7'1" center out of Kentucky. Ipsaro's got it right of the key. Goes over for the right side. That was Makai Cooper. Now back over for Ipsaro. He hands outside the arc for Potter. Cooper sent a tip pass over to Boltman. Cooper has it back now top of the key with 5 to shoot. Tries to feed it down low for Potter. Swings it near wing. Wide open three from Hunter. He's got it. Darwishi Hunter up to 6 points, a pair of trays, and Miami's got their first lead at 8-7 with 15:27 to go in the first half. Toomey on the near side just tosses one up, and he's got it over the top of the big Reese Potter at 7'1". Yassine Toomey at 6'10", got it over him, and Evansville grabs the lead back. Cooper for Miami goes to the logo. He'll hand it off for Hunter. Thought about the drive, now pulls it back out. Right elbow, short pass goes from Boltman. Now over to Epsaro, back to Boltman, right corner. He throws up a three, and that's off the back iron, no good. And the rebound is collected by Evansville. They'll go the other way. Strawbridge over for Tanner Cuff, checked into the game. Now Humrikas on the near wing, slashes across the paint, feeds back up top for Strawbridge Jr. Directly down the middle of the paint, throws up a wild shot, and it's too strong over the top. It's picked up by Makai Cooper for the RedHawks, who will shuffle his way up the court. 14:36 to go first half, 9-8, Evansville leading Miami in the early goings. Darwishi Hunter, short bounce pass for Reese Potter, now back down low for a wide open Boltman, who throws it in off the glass for two with the left hand. Boltman got free, Miami leads 10-9. Across the timeline left wing, Tanner Cuff over for Yassine Toomey, left of the key, and he ran into Makai Cooper, who will be called for the foul, didn't have his feet set, and that will bring us to immediate timeout. It's been a back and forth early goings. RedHawks have the lead by one with 14:16 to go in the first half. Our score, Miami 10 and Evansville 9. Stay with us from the Ford Center. You're listening to the season opener. It's Miami basketball on RedHawk Radio. Luke Poley with you here from the Ford Center. 14:16 to go, opening half, 10-9 Miami leads over Evansville. Miami leading scorer through the early goings. Darwishi Hunter's got a pair of three-pointers. He's got 6 points for the game. Evansville will have the ball coming out of the timeout following the personal foul by Makai Cooper. RedHawk freshman has since checked out of the game. Ian Elmer onto the floor for the first time in a RedHawk uniform. Big 6'6" freshman wing from Cincinnati, won the state championship last year in the state of Ohio at Taft High School for the Senators. He is a highlight reel type of player on the offensive end of the floor. RedHawks, for now, will have to play some defense. Tanner Cuff has it, slashing across the paint at the Valley logo, tries to throw up a wild shot, and a foul will be called on Ian Elmer, who whacked his arms across the arms of Tanner Cuff, and he will head to the line to shoot two. Cuff, the junior from American Fork, Utah, transferred in from Salt Lake Community College, was limited to 4 games last year at the JUCO level due to injury. Evansville really struggled at the line last year. First free throw is up, and it is pure to tie the game at 10. Purple Aces were a 63% free throw shooting team last season. Set them near the basement of the Missouri Valley. Miami, on the other hand, was the best free throw shooting team in the MAC. Second free throw is up and nothing but net. It's a 2-for-2 trip for Tanner Cuff, and Evansville's got the lead with 14:10 to go in the first half. It's 11-10 Aces. Ipsaro running the point, carries it across the timeline right wing. He goes over for Cooper, who hands it right back in the corner. Running to the right elbow, Ipsaro will now settle it back to the court. Kicked into the near corner now. Ian Elmer going all the way up and under, and he got fouled. A wild shot there by Ian Elmer. He tried to go up and under. There were 3 defenders around him. He was blanketed, but he got enough contact to get the foul, and the RedHawk freshman will go to the line with a chance to score his first points of his career. 11-10 Evansville leads with 13:52 to go in the first half. Elmer's first free throw is up, and it's off the back iron, no good. Miami will bring on Bradley Dean to replace Evan Ipsaro. Those two guys are going to be the point guards for Miami this season in all likelihood. Second free throw from Elmer in the air, and it clatters away. Rebound tapped back by Jaquel Morris, but it doesn't go off the rim. And the second rebound picked up by Chuck Bailey, the native of Detroit for UE. Circling around the timeline, Gage Bobe, one of 3 returners on this roster, one handing it over for Thomas. Driving through, Bailey kicks over to the far corner, but an offensive foul, it looks like, is going to be called. Miami's whole bench stood up, and now everybody's settling down, but the call was indeed offensive foul. A nice job by the freshman Makai Cooper to draw the foul on the defensive end of the floor, and Evansville turns it over. 13:32 to go in the first half, 11-10. Evansville leading Miami. Jaquel Morris at the top of the key. He hands it off for Dean, who's got an open lane down the left side. Now he'll pull up from 10 feet, and that rattles away, no good. And the rebound is caught, and a foul will be called as Joshua Hughes, the Australian freshman, got the board for the Aces. And the RedHawks will be whistled for the foul. That's the 15th foul for Miami with 13:20 to go in the first half. Across the timeline, right over the UE logo, Tanner Cuff will hand this one off for Gage Bobe. Now it's Chuck Bailey back to the near side of the key for Hughes, and he traveled when trying to carry it around the arc on the right side. So with 13:07 to go, it'll go back to Miami here. Evansville with a few careless turnovers here early on. That's the 3rd now for the Aces. Makai Cooper now running the point for Miami, and he carries it to the right of the UE logo across the timeline. Jaquel Morris has it now. Left elbow he hands for Boltman. Boltman spinning away from a defender. He got shoved, and that's a foul on Sekou Calais, the Louisville native. He had 10 rebounds to lead the team last season against Miami in the season opener, an Evansville victory in Oxford. He will now be checked out as the RedHawks will inbound from the front court with 12:56 to go in the first half, trailing 11-10. Just inside the arc on the left side, Jaquel Morris out for Makai Cooper. He fires off a 3, and it gets the roll. First points of the college career for Makai Cooper, hopefully plenty more. Miami back out in front 13-11. On the near side, nearly losing it out of bounds. Hughes recovers it. One hands it cross court over for Cuff. Cuff now hands for Bobe. He triggers a deep 3, and that's off the mark. Weak side rebound collected by Miami's Ian Elmer. Up the timeline on the right wing, Bradley Dean will settle it down. Calls for a screen, but now will send it over to the far side for Makai Cooper. Back to the near wing. Ian Elmer nearly turned it over, but Jaquel Morris gets to the loose ball. Cooper now right of the key, gets double teamed. He swings it out for Dean, fakes the shot, moves in right elbow, back out for Cooper. He jabs, drives, hands off down low. Jaquel Morris lost it, regathers on the floor, but his pass outside got tipped, and it's taken away by Gage Bobe. Bobe running ahead. He gets by Cooper. One hand's over to the far side. Thomas getting down near the paint. He got blocked by Elmer, but a foul is called. Beg your pardon, that was Chuck Bailey that was there for Evansville. I'll have to check to see. That will be a shooting foul. Call was a little bit late, so I wasn't sure if it was a shooting foul or if it was after the fact when Bailey landed, but it will be a foul, it looks like, on Miami's Ian Elmer. Travis Steele not too pleased, but that will send another ace to the free throw line when we come back. Miami again holding on to a narrow lead with 11:56 to go in the first half. It's 13-11. The RedHawks out in front. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami Basketball on RedHawk Radio. Luke West Poley back with you here from the Ford Center in Evansville. Miami 13, Evansville 11 with 11:56 to go in the first half. The Purple Aces will have a chance to tie the game at the free throw line. It will be Chuck Bailey, the freshman from Detroit, Michigan, that will head to the charity stripe. He led the team in points in their exhibition win against Wabash a couple of weeks ago in late October. Very highly touted recruit, number 3 player out of the state of Michigan, rated a 4-star recruit by ESPN. Big-time recruit. David Ragland punching above his weight, bringing in Chuck Bailey. First free throw was up, and it was good. Cuts the Miami lead down to 1. RedHawks have held a narrow lead at both media timeouts, but this game has stayed within 1 possession since Miami tied it up at 5 after going down 5-0. Second free throw clatters home. And it is 13-13 with just under 12 minutes to play. Carried up the court by Miami's Makai Cooper. He'll race around, now catches a mismatch with Tanner Cuff, floats it inside for Morris, bullying his way in, off the glass and in, but he called for the travel. The whistle came right as Jaquel Morris put a shoulder into the defender, and Travis Steele is incensed on the Miami bench, but the RedHawks will turn it over for the 5th time. Miami shooting 60% from the field. But the turnovers have kept this game close. Tied up at 13, 11:33 to go, opening half. Spinning around, Strawbridge Jr. at the rack. He got blocked by Morris, but it looks like a goaltend is going to be called as official on the near side was right up there with it. So Strawbridge Jr. will collect the bucket off the goaltend as that ball hit the backboard before Jaquel Morris got his hand on it. So the RedHawks now trail by 2. Morris now down the right lane, weaves through, and he lays it in with the right hand. 4 points now for Jaquel Morris. Game tied back up at 15. Strawbridge Jr. on the offensive end, right elbow. Swings back outside. Now pushed back in, left elbow. This is Toomey. He hands for Cuff, couldn't drive in on Cooper. He's forced back outside. Now Toomey, left of the paint, 10 to shoot. Driving in on Morris, who's giving him nothing. Toomey now with 7, gets to the Valley logo, throws up a line drive shot. It's off the back iron, and Jaquel Morris fights for the rebound and hauls it down. Morris averaged 16 rebounds a game in high school, led the state of New York, and dominates inside there. Makai Cooper nearly turned it over on the offensive end, but a good job by Bradley Dean to save him. RedHawks still have it, driving in. Mabry floats one from just outside the paint, and that is no good. Off the inside of the rim. Rebound collected by Cuff for Evansville. He's down to the baseline on the right wing. Spins off of Cooper, gets inside, underneath off the backboard. He puts it in for 2. First points for Tanner Cuff, and Evansville leads at 17-15. Beg your pardon, first field goal for him. Now up to 4 points in the game. Cooper tried to slip one inside looking for Boltman. Toomey was in the way. Ball is loose on the floor, and a foul is going to be called on Miami's Makai Cooper, who tripped up Kenny Strawbridge as he was trying to run the floor the other way. And so it'll be Evansville ball here with 9:58 to go in the first half. Aces leading 17-15. Miami going to bring on Darwishi Hunter as well as Reese Potter. And Evansville into the bonus now, and so Strawbridge Jr. will go to the other end of the floor to shoot the 1-and-1. 66% free throw shooter last year. First free throw is up, and he got it. Puts Evansville up by 3. 18-15. Purple Aces leading with 9:58 to go. Cam Hafner, the leading scorer for Evansville, with 5. Second free throw too strong, and Darwishi Hunter fields it on the ground on the rebound. Hunter up the floor. Short pass for Potter. Now back to Hunter, top of the key. Hunter, hip-high dribble with the left hand. Circles to the near side. He hands it off for Ipsaro. Backing out to the center court logo. Two-hand push for Mabry. Now it's Potter at the right elbow with 10 to shoot. He's got his back turned to the basket. 8 to shoot now, and he goes to Hunter near side, who's backed all the way out to the logo. 3 to shoot, pull up from way downtown, and Hunter got it. Darwishi Hunter, his 3rd triple. He's got 9 points to lead the way for the RedHawks, and the game is tied at 18 with 9:18 to go in the first. Evansville trying to answer. Hafner at left elbow, feeds Toomey, free throw line jumper, got it. Toomey puts Evansville back out in front. Ipsaro runs the floor quickly, but now we'll back out to the logo and head over to the far side in front of the UE bench. Top of the key, Reese Potter back for Evan Ipsaro. 2 freshmen from the state of Kentucky. Ipsaro trying to cut across the court, and Toomey got him up high. That will be a foul. 8:56 to go first half. 20-18 Evansville leading Miami. 15 foul for Evansville, so Miami will get a fresh 20 seconds, and they will inbound from the near side of the court on the offensive end of the floor. Get a delay as Evansville looks like maybe having to make a late sub here. Or rather, it's Miami, who is Bryce Boltman, who is supposed to inbound, has gone over to see a trainer and looks like might be cleaning some blood off his hands potentially. 8:56 to go in our first half. 20-18 Evansville leading Miami. Season opener, we've got plenty more for you. We don't have a whole ton of Miami women's basketball on deck in the recent few weeks, in the coming few weeks, I should say, as it's been a tough schedule for Glenn Box. The team goes on the road a lot in their non-conference. They're only going to play 3 games before the turn of the new year. We will carry every home game for the Miami women this season, every home game for the Miami men as well as select road games. Fun local rivalries on deck for this Miami team. They'll take on Ohio State in early December. They'll take on Wright State a couple weeks later. Both those games on the road. Play has started again. Miami's put it back in. It's Evan Ipsaro controlling at the UE logo. He hands for Darwishi Hunter back outside. Darwishi Hunter signaling to Mabry to get to him. He sends him the pass, and Mabry gives it right back. Left to the key with 5 to shoot. Hunter pushes it down low for Potter. 2 to shoot. Potter still got the ball in his hands, kicks far side, and the shot clock expires as Ipsaro catches and shoots. The shot goes, but it won't matter. It was way late. And just looked like the freshman Reese Potter didn't know how much time was on the shot clock there. And so Miami turns it over now for the 6th time in the first half. 8:33 to go in it, 20-18 Evansville. Over the timeline on the right wing, Antonio Thomas hands off for Cam Hafner. Now one hand over for Kenny Strawbridge Jr. He'll hold on and direct traffic. Strawbridge Jr. driving down the right lane, turns it around just inside the arc, kicks over the far corner. Hummerkoss wide open. He fires off a 3, and it's short. Rebound right under the basket by Ryan Mabry for the RedHawks. Mabry, cross-court pass for Hunter, tried to slide his way through, and he got contact and a foul down the lane. And with 8:09 to go, the foul will be on Cam Hafner for Evansville, and it will be considered a shooting foul for Darwishi Hunter, who was sort of in a passing motion, and so he will shoot 2. He can be the first RedHawk to hit double figures if he makes the first one, puts it up, but it is no good. Too much on it from Darwishi Hunter. RedHawks, as mentioned, best free throw shooting team in the MAC last season, but they lost the best free throw shooter in school history, Makai Larry, who actually is a native of Evansville, Indiana. Second free throw, Hunter's got it, and he's got 10 points now, only RedHawk in double figures. Miami down 20-19 with 8:05 to go in the first half. Over the timeline, right down the center, Thomas hands it off. Hummerkoss to the near side for Hughes, drives down the right lane, spins around, fades, puts it up, and it rolls just off the iron. Rebound collected by Ryan Mabry for Miami, and he'll carry it up the floor. Mabry goes over for Hunter. He steps back, can't fire off the shot, and he'll go back to Mabry right at the key. He hands for Potter just inside the arc. He'll throw one up, and it's short, but Ipsaro tips it back on the rebound. Potter over for Hunter. He tees up a 3, and that's also short as well. Another offensive board, this time by Bryce Boltman for Miami. RedHawks settle it back outside. Ryan Mabry's got it, 12 to shoot. On the right wing. Goes over in the corner for Hunter, slashing across. He backs up top of the key, 5 to shoot. Mabry, right wing 3, yes sir! Ryan Mabry, contested look. He's got his first bucket, and that puts the RedHawks in front 22-20 after 2 offensive rebounds. Thomas spinning around. He gets down to the free throw line, swings it far side. A 3 is put up. It's no good, but a foul is called as Joshua Hughes got some contact on the way down, and he will head to the line to shoot 3 when we come back. Miami again with a narrow lead at the break with 7 minutes to go in our first half. It's Miami 22 and Evansville 20. 3 free throws on the way for the Purple Aces when we return. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at the Ford Center in Evansville, Luke West Poley with you here as we hit the road for the opener for the Miami men this season. 22-20, Miami leading with 7 minutes even to go in the first half. 3 free throws though coming up for Joshua Hughes for Evansville after he got fouled while shooting a three-pointer. Pretty good free throw shooter. Hughes is 85% last season, playing in Australia in the Aussies equivalent of the G League. Member of their youth national team as well at the U17 level. Miami men will be back at home on Saturday in the MAC Sunbelt Challenge. They'll take on the Bobcats of Texas State. 11 a.m. start in that one. It's a packed day for Miami Athletics. They've got basketball, then volleyball, and hockey to follow. First free throw is put up, and it is good for Josh Hughes. 22-21, our score with Miami out in front. We will have both hockey games Friday, Saturday at 7 o'clock each day, and the men's basketball game at 11 on Saturday morning. Second free throw, nothing but net for Hughes. Hughes lofts it up, and he got them all three. Evansville retakes the lead, 23-22, as now they're under 7 minutes to play. Ipsaro carries it across the timeline on the right wing. Jackson Katecki seeing the floor for the first time. He's got the ball in his hands right now with his back turned left of the paint. He pushes it back outside for Ipsaro, slashing in left elbow. He throws it over far corner, a fake shot by Boltman. Now he makes his way in. Cross-court pass finds Ipsaro. He bounces it down low. Katecki swings it around, nearly missed the open look down low, but it swirls in for him. And Jackson Katecki with his first career bucket in college. Miami back down in front, 24-23 with 6:26 to go. Hughes just inside the arc, steps back, triggers off the three, and it's wide left. Rebound picked up by Darishi Hunter for Miami. Quickly up the floor on the left wing. Ipsaro faked the pass. Now backs it out to the logo, signaling for help. Ipsaro wants the screen. Katecki sets it. Ipsaro now to the near side for Hunter, back down low. Katecki with the left hand, and he puts it in for his second straight bucket. Jackson Katecki's up to 4 points. 26-23 now Miami leads with 5:55 to go first half. Antonio Thomas backing down on Ipsaro at the top of the key. He goes near side for Hafner, and we'll get a foul called away from the ball here on Miami. See what they got for it. It looks like Evan Ipsaro picked it up. Travis Steele just throws his palms to the sky. First at the official and then at Evan Ipsaro. Now 2 free throws coming up for Josh Hughes, or the 1-and-1 I should say. And he missed the first one, and the rebound is picked up for Miami by Bryce Boltman. Boltman takes it up the court himself on the right wing. Feeds Hunter top of the key. Bounce pass right elbow for Jackson Katecki. One-hand swing to the far side for Boltman. Tried to drive baseline, lost control, and it will go out the baseline. The RedHawks turn it over. Another turnover for Miami. That's now their 7th. Beg your pardon, that's their 8th now in the first half. Effort's been good, but it's been a sloppy effort for Miami. 5:26 to go. RedHawks lead by 3 here in the first half. Around the arc, this is Strawbridge Jr. left of the key. At the right elbow, he'll pull back. Takes it around to the left elbow. Step back jumper is short. Picked up off the front iron by Ryan Mabry for Miami. Mabry settles it down. Dribbles between the legs, crossing back and forth on the far side. Mabry trying to throw it over for Hunter in the corner. It got tipped out of bounds. As Strawbridge Jr. got his hand in there to tuck that one into the Evansville bench. 5:04 to go first half. RedHawks by 3, and they will inbound with a 20-second shot clock from the far side of the floor. Darwishi Hunter slapping the basketball, and he will bounce it out to half court where Makai Cooper's waiting on it for Miami. Cooper hands to Boltman. Boltman down the right lane, swings it near side, nearly out of bounds. Hunter falling backward, floats it out to midcourt, and it couldn't be handled by Cooper going the other way. A wild attempt there by Thomas, and it doesn't go. RedHawks have numbers. Cooper to the near side. Hunter in the corner for 3. You betcha! Another tray for Darwishi Hunter. He's got 4 of those now and continues to lead the scoring effort for Miami. 29-23 RedHawks with 4:29 to go in the first half. Strawbridge Jr. down the right lane, double team, loses control on the dribble, taken away by Miami's Makai Cooper. 2-on-1 down the floor. Cooper bounces it down low for Hunter. His first shot won't go, gets his own rebound, puts it back. That's too short, and he fouls on the second attempt on the rebound. Antonio Thomas, who will go the other way to shoot some free throws on the other side of the floor. 4:16 to go in the first half. RedHawks by 6, and more free throws coming up, as that's the 10th team foul for Miami, so double bonus shots now for Evansville. Miami was in some pretty serious team foul trouble about 5 minutes into the game. They had already picked up about 4 or 5 fouls, slowed down a little bit throughout the midway mark. First free throw is put up, and Thomas gets it to roll in off the front of the rim. Thomas, very interesting, won the 2020 MVC championship at Bradley before transferring out to play at Kentucky Wesleyan, and now coming back to the Missouri Valley to play here for Evansville in his final year of eligibility, the 5th year. Tosses up the second free throw, and it's good. That cuts the lead to 4. 29-25 Miami leads with 4:13 to go in the first half. Cooper up top for Bradley Dean. He's seen limited minutes in this first half after starting. Dean driving baseline. Feeds Katecki on the near side, just inside the arc. He goes back out near midcourt for Julian Lewis, the Miami returner. He lost it along the floor, and now Evansville goes fast break the other way. Tooley with a slam dunk in transition. Yassine Toomey got Evansville's first 8 points in the meeting last year. He's been a little more quiet today, and Miami nearly turning it over there, and now they will, as off a backcourt violation. They will throw it into the hands of Hafner, but he loses control on the dribble now as he crosses the timeline. Picked back up by Miami's Julian Lewis. As mentioned, one of a few returners, saw some time last year. He's back for another season with Miami. Boltman, near side of the paint. He's double teamed, looking for an option. It got stripped free. He collects the loose ball, drives in, gets the foul, puts it up, and it just rolls off the right side of the rim. But it will be free throws coming up on the other side of the break for Bryce Boltman, the grad transfer from McKendree. And now on the other side, we see some frustration from the UE coaching staff as David Ragland pleads his case to the officials. Regardless, 3:19 to go here in the first half, and Miami leading by a pair, 29-27. Our score, the RedHawks in front of the Aces. Stay with us. We're back to the Ford Center after this here on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at the Ford Center, Luke West Poley with you. Late goings, first half, 3:19 to go in our opening period. Miami leading 29-27 over the Evansville Purple Aces. RedHawks had to play from behind for the majority of the game last season. Mounted a late comeback, got it within one possession, but Anderson Marambo missed a game-tying 3 with under a minute to go, and the RedHawks would end up falling by 4 points to the Aces in their opener. They're looking for a bit of a different start to their year here in year 2 of the Travis Steele era. Miami's been very strong shooting the ball. 6 for 9 from 3 and 61%, 11 for 18 from the field. Compared to Evansville, 1 for 5 from three-point range. Difference, though, has been the turnovers. That's what's kept the game close. Evansville with 5, Miami with 11 of them here in the first half. RedHawks will shoot some free throws coming out of the timeout. Bryce Boltman puts the first one up, and it is too strong. Boltman, the transfer from McKendree, former GLVC Freshman of the Year. Very strong Division II conference. Two-time champ in that conference with the McKendree Bearcats. Second free throw is up, and it is good. RedHawks by 3 with 3:17 to go. 3 first-half points for Bryce Boltman. Gage Bobe has it offensive end for Evansville. He feeds far side for Hummerkoss. Hummerkoss pushes it down low, and a right-handed look for Cuff. He's wide open, puts it off the glass and in for 2. Evansville back within 1 point. Cuff has 6 points here in the first half. Boltman driving across the right lane, and he gets some contact, and he's fouled. And Miami in the bonus. That will send Bryce Boltman to the free throw line with 2:55 to go in the first half, and the RedHawks leading 30-29. Free throw line has been another area where the RedHawks have struggled. Evansville 10 for 12, Miami 2 for 6 so far, including an empty 0 for 2 trip for Ian Elmer. 2 shots on the way for Bryce Boltman. Or the 1-and-1, I should say, and he misses the first one short. Another front end of a 1-and-1 that gets missed. Evansville had one of those earlier on, and taking it the other way, Chuck Bailey crossing the timeline on the right wing. Now Hummerkoss on the right flank, back up top for Bailey, top of the key. Bailey over for Bobe. He tosses up a 3 from the corner, and it's off target. Rebound by Elmer right under the basket for the RedHawks. 2:34 to go first half, Miami leading by 1. Boltman racing down the right lane. He'll now slow up. He hands over on the far side for Elmer, makes his way in on the Valley logo. He feeds off Katecki, fading from 10 feet. Katecki scores. What a first half it's been for Jackson Katecki. He's got a half dozen off very limited minutes, and Miami leads by 3. 2:13 to go in the first half. This is Bailey cutting it across with his heels on the UE logo over to the far side for Cuff. Thought about the shot, instead he pulls it back down. Bounced over for Calais. Bobe cutting across. He thought about the shot, and now he'll pull back down as well and give for Cuff. Cuff for Calais. Far side of the paint, driving in with 5 to shoot. Wild up and under shot. Got stripped away from him. Didn't even get up to the height of the basket. Ian Elmer's got the ball in his hands for Miami. He'll send it up for Ipsaro, who settles for the RedHawks. 1:45 to go, and an offensive foul called away from the ball. A legal screen on Ian Elmer, and he's got to be careful. That's his third, as Travis Steele will give the freshman some coaching. Ryan Mabry coming on for Elmer. And with 1:45 to go in the first half, it is another turnover, Miami's 12th of this half. RedHawks still lead by 3, 32-29. 1:40 to go in the opening half. Bobe, two-hand pass over to the near wing. Hughes driving in, got it up and over top of Katecki. That drops in. Cuts the Miami lead down to 1. 1:20 to go in the first half. Right elbow, Jackson Katecki with his back turned, pivoting around. He finds Mabry on the far side. Mabry back to Katecki, down low, catches contact, puts it up and scores. Travis Steele wanted a foul, but what a bucket there for Katecki. Meanwhile, the other way, Bailey going quick, and he got hit. A blocking foul is called, and he will head to the line to shoot. 1:06 to go. Quick transition move there from Chuck Bailey. First team all-area player from Detroit, Michigan. Freshman is going to be relied on by Coach Garland to lead this team offensively this season. I mentioned how big of a recruit he was to bring him into this program. Evansville down 3 with 1:06 to go in the first half. First free throw is put up, and it clatters off the rim. Evansville's been good at the free throw line, 83% up to that point. But Bailey misses the first. Bailey with a couple of bounces. Right-handed shot is put up, and he got the second one. So he hits the back end of the 2 shots, and that cuts the lead down to 2. RedHawks can possess here and work the clock to get the final possession. Under a minute to play now, and Miami with the ball. Shot and game clock separated by 36 seconds. Ipsaro just holding on to it right now at half court for the RedHawks. Now Boltman over for Dean, and we get a foul called away from the ball as Dean tried to slash over the free throw line. Foul was on Chuck Bailey for Evansville. That's the 9th team foul for the Aces and the 2nd personal for Bailey. 49.5 seconds remain on the clock. And Evan Ipsaro will shoot some free throws for Miami. First free throw is up, and it is short. Evan Ipsaro was a 91% free throw shooter in high school, but he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Going the other way now, and Cuff traveled. Or rather, there is a foul on Kenny Strawbridge Jr., it looks like. See what that was there. No, it indeed was a travel. PA was announced as a violation on Strawbridge Jr., but regardless, carried across the timeline for Miami by Ipsaro. He calls timeout, and with 40.1 seconds remaining in the first half, the RedHawks will talk it over. That's the use it or lose it timeout for Miami. It's the first timeout that either team has called. 40.1 seconds left, so the RedHawks cannot hold for the final shot. 29 seconds on the shot clock. Miami just forcing the turnover as Hummerkas got called for the travel. It's a 30-second timeout, so just some quick words from Travis Steele. His team leading by 2, 34-32. Miami in front of Evansville. This is a Miami team that got very hot down the stretch. RedHawks only had one road win in non-conference play, though, all of last season. It was their final road game in non-conference play of the season down in Louisville against the Bellarmine Knights. It was a very gutsy win, came right down to the wire. Ryan Mabry hit a clutch 3 to seal it on the final possession for the RedHawks. Out of the timeout, inbounding, it's Boltman all the way across the court. Katecki rises up to come down with that ball, and he will hand for Mabry on the near side. Mabry jutting back and forth around the arc to the far wing. It's Dean cutting across at the left elbow. He'll pull it back out to half court. 16 to shoot. Now this is Ipsaro on the far side in front of the UE bench. Just inside the arc, right wing for Katecki. He one-hands it over to Boltman. Boltman driving, steps back, free throw line jumper, off the mark, too far left, didn't catch any rim, and the rebound is picked up for Evansville by Hughes. Aces now will carry it across the timeline and call timeout as Strawbridge Jr. ran those duties. 12 seconds even left on the clock here in the first half, and Evansville could tie it or take the lead, down 34-32. As they will call their use it or lose it timeouts. So each team will in all likelihood carry their 3 timeouts to the second half. Evansville as a team, pretty decent offensive effort outside of the three-point shooting. They're shooting 45% from the field, but just 1 of 6 from 3. And not converting off a lot of the turnovers despite Miami having them in sizable numbers. 12 turnovers for the RedHawks, but just 11 points for Evansville. On the other side, 6 turnovers for the Aces and 10 points for Miami. So despite the huge disparity in turnovers, Aces haven't really converted much. They will have a chance, though, to maybe take the lead or at least tie it before half. Strawbridge Jr. on the inbound. Even 12 seconds left on the clock. Evansville down 34-32. He'll float it into the backcourt where Cuff comes down with it, guarded closely by Mabry. 8 seconds remain. Cuff hands off for Bope, circling around. Strawbridge Jr. left of the key with 4 seconds to go. Skates off a screen, feeds over to the far side. Fake shot by Hughesy. Fires off a 3 at the buzzer, and it is no good. In and out. And that will do it for our opening half of play. So Miami escapes the first half with a lead after a pretty good look at the buzzer was missed by Joshua Hughes, the freshman Aussie. And at the break, it is 34-32. Miami leading the Purple Aces here on the road. Take a look at our stats from the opening half of play. RedHawks shooting 62% off 13 for 21 shooting. Evansville 43%, 10 for 23 from the floor. RedHawks were 6 for 9 from 3. Cooled down a little bit with a couple of late misses, but they were excellent from beyond the arc in that first half. Namely, it was the newcomer for the RedHawks, Darwishi Hunter, the transfer from Northern Illinois. He hit 4 threes for the RedHawks in that first half, and he led the way offensively for Miami. RedHawks 2 for 8 from the free throw line. That's something Travis Steele will not be too pleased with. Evansville 79%. Purple Aces are 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. Mentioned their three-point shooting struggles a little bit earlier on. 12 turnovers for Miami, 6 for Evansville. 16 rebounds for the RedHawks compared to 9 for the Aces. The RedHawks have certainly had a big advantage down low. This is a Miami team that got a lot bigger this offseason, and they have been dominating on the board so far in this game. As the RedHawks take a look at some individual stats, Jackson Katecki was really good. The freshman only got 7 minutes in that first half, but he was 4 for 4 shooting the ball from the floor and has 8 points, as he, for Miami, has the second most on the team, trailing only Darwishi Hunter, who's got 13. Hunter also leading in rebounds and assists with 4 and 2, respectively. For Evansville, the leader in the offensive category is Tanner Cuff with 6 points. The Aces spread the wealth pretty well in that opening half of play in terms of their offensive production. Cuff only got 9 minutes as well, so another guy that did not play as much of that first half as maybe you would have thought, considering he's the leading scorer. Perfect 2 for 2 shooting from the field. He also hit 2 free throws for the Aces in that first half. Josh Hughes leading the rebounding tally for Evansville. He had 4 boards in the opening half of play, and Cameron Hafner had 2 assists to hold the lead in that category for the Purple Aces. We'll take a break here from the Ford Center. Thanks so much for tuning into this season opener of the Red Hawk Radio Road Trip here from southwestern Indiana. At the half between Miami and Evansville, it's Red Hawks 34 and Aces 32. Stay tuned, second half of play on the other side of the break. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Coming out of halftime here from the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. Miami with a narrow lead at the halftime. Great 34-32 RedHawks lead over the Purple Aces. Wes Poley back with you here on RedHawk Radio. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Monday night. 8:03 local time, 9:03 time in the Eastern time zone. Back home in Oxford. First game of the year for the Miami men. It was the RedHawks lead Evansville. The RedHawks fell to Evansville last year, but it's been a better start somewhat for Miami in this game. Obviously, a lot of things they're going to want to clean up, but the RedHawks have the lead as of right now at the halftime break. Miami women opened up their season on the road today as well. RedHawks fell in their opener against Vermont 60-48 as the Glenn Box era began for the RedHawks on the hardwood on the women's side. Home opener for the RedHawk women on November 18th. That is a week from Saturday when they will take on the Hilltoppers from Western Kentucky. And as mentioned earlier on, not a whole lot of home games before New Year's in the non-conference slate for the Miami women. They will have just 3 of them. They will play against Western Kentucky. That's Saturday on November 18th. Their next game will be November 27th as they'll get a little bit over a week off, and they will play Xavier on Monday, November 27th at 7 p.m. And then we'll play Dayton and former RedHawks star Ivy Wolf on December 9th. That's a Saturday, a 1 p.m. start there. And that's it for home games for the Miami women in the first half of the year prior to New Year's. When they get into MAC play, they will then host their first game of the new year against the Toledo Rockets. For the Miami men in the first half, leading 34-32, shot 62% from the field. It was a solid effort shooting-wise for the RedHawks. They were also 6 for 9 from beyond the arc, including 4 makes from Darwishi Hunter, who was 4 for 5. Makai Cooper and Ryan Mabry added a tray each as well. But the free throw shooting and the turnovers, the main things that the RedHawks are likely frustrated with at the halftime. Break 12 turnovers in the first half for Miami, and 2 for 8 at the charity stripe as this game remains a 2-point advantage for the RedHawks after one half of play. RedHawks in the red uniforms here on the road with the white accents, white Miami block letters across the front, names on the back in white as well, and white numbers on the front and back for Evansville. They've got the white uniforms with the purple and orange script aces across the front, purple and orange accents along the sides, and purple names and numbers on the back. RedHawks have the arrow, and so they will start things off with possession here in the second half. Miami will go with same starting 5 they started the game with: Mabry, Dean, Hunter, Boltman, Morris for the RedHawks, now moving left to right in half number 2. Darwishi Hunter puts the ball in for Bradley Dean, and we are underway on the second half here from Evansville. Miami leading 34-32 coming out of the break. Jaquel Morris at the right elbow, bounces down low for Boltman, puts a shoulder into the defender, tosses it up, it's short. Jaquel Morris, offensive board, cleans up the loose change and throws it in for 2. 6 points now for Jaquel Morris, a half dozen for the Brooklyn native, and Miami leads by 4. Yassine Toomey has it at the free throw line, guarded closely by Morris. He'll hand off now for Thomas, driving across, now kicking to the near corner. Toomey thought about the shot, drives baseline, gets by Morris, and throws it up and in. Yassine Toomey now up to 8 points, and he leads the scoring for Evansville in this one. 36-34, Miami leads, 48 seconds into the second half. Boltman on the left side, outside the arc. Chest pass to the near side for Mabry, now right back to Boltman. He'll slash across the paint and feed Mabry along the near side. Mabry gets around the left lane, dances around the defender, and throws it in with the left hand off the glass for 2. 5 points now for Ryan Mabry, the sophomore. The RedHawks lead again by 4. Strawbridge Jr. left wing. Over for Toomey, left elbow. Handoff pass for Hummerkoss, straight down the center of the paint. In Jaquel Morris's face, tosses it up, no good. He gets his own rebound, kicks out for Strawbridge for 3, and he got it. Kenny Strawbridge Jr., 26% three-point shooter last season, but he knocks in the tray, and that cuts the lead to 1. 38-37, Miami leads. Boltman down the lane. Kicks far side. Hunter for three. You bet. Another for Darwishi Hunter. He's 5 for 6 from deep, and Miami leads it by 4. Hummerkoss on the near side. Around the horn for Toomey. On the far wing, he hands Strawbridge Jr. down the center of the paint. Throws it up. It's off the underside of the backboard. Rebound picked up by Darwishi Hunter from Miami. RedHawks can play 5-on-4 if they go quick. Over the timeline on the right wing. Hunter with a short pass into the corner for Bradley Dean. Bradley Dean now pulls up at the Valley logo, and his shot got partially blocked by Hummerkoss. Loose ball is picked up by Toomey. Across the timeline, right down the middle. He feeds over for Thomas. Turnaround shot from 20 feet is no good. Offensive board, though, and a foul is called. As you've seen, Toomey got some contact. And it will stay with Evansville here with 17:31 to go in the first half. Ryan Mabry gets his first personal, team's first of the second half. 17:31 to go in our second frame. 41-37 Miami leads. Quickly put back in. Toomey, top of the key, just inside the arc. He hands it for Strawbridge Jr. Cutting back over to the far side of the court. Now this is Toomey on the right elbow. Looking for an option with 6 to shoot. Toomey down the right lane, forced back outside by Morris. Toomey with 3 to shoot, now turns it around, throws it up, and that is well short. Falls into the arms of Boltman, who runs it the other way for Miami. Boltman all the way down to the baseline, runs it out. He finds Dean, open from the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way, and it's good. Bradley Dean, he's a three-point shooter. That's what he does best, and he connects to put Miami in front by 7. This is the game's largest lead. And Coach Garland is way off his bench, and he will call the timeout to start things off. The Miami bench is fired up with 16:50 to go in the second half. It's the first timeout called by either team here in half number 2. Evansville's got 2 timeouts left. 16:50 to go in the second half, and Miami leads it 44-37. What's been a very low-scoring affair so far. A lot of empty possessions on both sides. Not necessarily due to the shooting performances, though, as we've already talked about. 6-0 run for the RedHawks to begin the half. Over the last minute and 24 seconds, Miami 4 for their last 5 from the field. Darwishi Hunter is up to 16 points in this game. He has been unconscious shooting the ball for the RedHawks. Hunter, a very interesting journey traversing through college basketball that's seen him play at now 4 different schools and multiple levels. Started out at the Division II level, playing in the state of Ohio. He originally was at Princeton High School, then played a post-grad year at Don Prep in the Coleraine area over by Mount Airy. He then went to play D2 ball at Central State up in the Dayton area. Averaged 20.7 points per game at Central State as a freshman and won Conference Player of the Year. Then hit the portal, went to Weber State in Utah for a couple years. Transferred back closer to home, not in his home state though, as he went to Northern Illinois, spent 2 years there. Averaged 6.4 points per game over 2 years, but the bulk of that was done in his second year there. He was a double-figure scorer last season at NIU. And he was a big-time transfer portal pickup by Travis Steele in this team. Brought in 3 transfers in the offseason that they thought all were going to play big parts. All of them were in the starting lineup in this game. But no one has been more impactful in this one than Darwishi Hunter. 16 points off, 5 for 7 shooting, 5 for 6 from beyond the arc. And also 4 rebounds, leading Miami along the glass. So Evansville will inbound from the front court, trailing 44-37 with 16:50 to go in the second half as the RedHawks have put together a bit of a scoring run. Strawbridge Jr. will inbound from the far side of the court, right in front of his own bench. Strawbridge Jr. overhead pass. He connects with Hummerkoss on the far side of the paint. Hummerkoss bullies his way in, spins, puts it off the glass and one. Ben Hummerkoss, transfer from Huntington, NAIA school in the state of Indiana. senior out of Tipton, Indiana, will head to the line to try and complete the three-point play. 16:45 to go on the second half. Foul is on Miami's Bryce Boltman. He's got 2. Miami's second team foul of the half. Hummerkoss getting ready to toss up his first attempt from the line, and it drops in. So that cuts the lead back down to 4. 16:45 to go, second half. Evansville with a bit of a two-man press here, but Miami breaks it pretty quickly on the combo effort from Bradley Dean and Bryce Boltman. Dean has it now in the near corner. Cuts it across the paint. One hand's over for Boltman. He tried to do the same, and he got fouled at the left elbow. Kenny Strawbridge Jr. is called for the reach-in. That's his first personal, first team for Evansville. 16:30 to go, second half, 44-40, Miami in front. Fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bryce Boltman will inbound for the RedHawks. Gives it in for Jaquel Morris, just inside the arc on the left side. He hands to Dean, who backs it back out to the logo. Bradley Dean, transfer from UVA Wise. Bullet pass top of the key for Darwishi Hunter. Around the horn, near side, this is Boltman. Holding on to it, 5 to shoot. He finds Morris. 4 to shoot. Morris just hands off for Mabry, back inside for Morris. Tosses one up, he got blocked. Hummerkoss with the rejection, and now running the floor the other way, Toomey forced to stop along the baseline. He turns, gets inside the paint, puts it off the glass, and it had too much on it. Rebound collected on the far side by Jaquel Morris for the RedHawks. 44-40, Miami leading, under 16 minutes to play. Dean quickly up the floor. It got stripped away from him. Headed the other way. Hafner, alley-oop for Toomey. He throws it down. Yassine Toomey with the slam. Evansville is within 2. Mabry down the left lane, faces a defender, hands it off for Morris. He lost control, regains along the floor, and he puts it in on the wide open look. Morris tripped up there as he was trying to get back on Toomey, who was down on the ground, but he gets back up and now going around the other way. Hafner got near the baseline, and looks like he stepped on the baseline, and this will go back to the RedHawks here as we've reached a timeout on the floor. 46-42, our score with 15:22 to go in the second half. The RedHawks leading the Evansville Purple Aces. This continues to be a tight one here from the Ford Center. We're back next. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at the Ford Center in Evansville, 46-42, the Miami lead over the Purple Aces. 15:22 to go in the second half. 16 points for NIU transfer Darwishi Hunter for Miami. Well, Morris has made his way up in the offensive category as well. He's now got 8 points for the RedHawks and 4 rebounds to equal Hunter's total. RedHawks will have the ball out of the timeout following the Evansville turnover. Eight turnovers for the Purple Aces. Miami bringing Reese Potter and Makai Cooper back onto the floor. They saw some time around about the middle 10 minutes of that first half. Each of them with 6 and 8 minutes, Potter and Cooper respectively. Evansville lightly pressing a little bit here, but Miami gets it across the timeline with Boltman and Hunter playing catch. Now this is Potter top of the key. Big 7'1" freshman, hands to Cooper on the near side. Now Ipsaro dribbling over to the far wing. Ipsaro tried to slip it into the paint, and it was stolen away by Strawbridge Jr. Evansville the other way. Toomey catches a pass across the timeline, into the paint with his back turn, makes his way in, floats one up, and it's too strong. Rebound on the weak side by Miami's Makai Cooper. Cooper across the timeline, right wing, stops his feet, drives through the lane, lost control, and it's stripped away by Strawbridge Jr. Another steal for number 20 in white. Across the timeline on the right wing, Strawbridge Jr. spinning right of the lane, swings it back out wide, three on the way from Hafner off the back iron, and it's scooped up on the rebound by Darwishi Hunter for the RedHawks. 14:30 to go, second half, Miami leading 46-42. Boltman inside the arc on the right side. He feeds over for Ipsaro, now back for Hunter. Another three, and it swirls home. Darwishi Hunter cannot be stopped right now. He's 6 for 7 from deep, and he was blanketed there. He re-extends the Miami lead to 7. 19 points for the transfer from Northern Illinois. 14:05 to go, second half. Evansville on the offensive end of the floor. Toomey right wing, cross-court pass to the near side for Hafner. Cooper strips it away. Hafner regathers along the floor. Feeds it back out mid-court for Strawbridge Jr. 5 to shoot. Strawbridge Jr. one-hand pass over for Thomas. He's got to pull up from the right elbow, and it falls short. Off the front of the rim. Rebound Bryce Boltman for Miami. Over the timeline on the right wing, Boltman cuts it across and now heads down the left lane, spins down the center of the paint, puts a shoulder into the defender. The defender tumbles down. He turns around, has an open look, but it's in and out, no good. And it's rebounded by Strawbridge Jr. for Evansville. 13:30 to go, second half. Miami by 7. Nice step back move by Thomas, but decided not to shoot. Regretted it as he threw his head back. Now Strawbridge Jr. contested three. He got fouled as it goes in and out. And it will be 3 shots at the line. That is the second time in this game that a Purple Ace has been fouled while shooting a 3. Darwishi Hunter picks up his 3rd personal foul, 3rd team foul for the RedHawks. And with 13:22 to go in the second half, 3 shots coming up for Kenny Strawbridge Jr. 10th in the MVC last year in scoring. First free throw is up, and it drops in. Strawbridge 1 for 2 in his first trip to the line. Evansville getting ready for a bench-clearing round of substitutions as they've got 4 guys waiting in the wings. Second free throw is up, and it clatters off the rim. Substitutions will now be made as 3 of the 4 are going to come on for Evansville. 49-43 our score with Miami in front. Evansville bringing on Gage Bogue, Tanner Cuff, and Joshua Hughes. Final free throw is put up and it clatters in. That trims the lead down to 5. 49-44 is the Miami lead with 13:22 to go in regulation. Cooper and Hunter passing back and forth. Cooper takes it across the timeline on the left wing. Hunter now with the ball in his hands, directs traffic from the logo. Katecki checked into the game just inside the arc, circles to the left side, hands for Hunter, steps it back outside now. This is Ipsaro over for Hunter. He drives in and he caught contact on the forearm. That's a foul. It'll be whistled for Evansville on number 0, Gage Bogue, who was the top 3-point shooter in conference play last season in the Missouri Valley. He has not seen the court a ton today. Just 8 minutes over the course of the first 27 minutes of this game. Baseline inbound coming up for Miami with 13:01 to go in regulation. Boltman struggling to get it in. Finally, he finds Katecki in the near corner. Katecki, right elbow over for Makai Cooper. Bounce pass to the far corner. Boltman didn't get it in time to pull the trigger. Now he goes back for Cooper, who couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Now Mabry will just try a deep 3, and you bet he put it in. Miami has been excellent from 3 today. Ryan Mabry, the latest example. RedHawks by 8. in the post. Tanner Cuff turns it around back outside for Hummerkoss. Hummerkoss driving in, passes down low. A wild shot by Hughes, but he got it to go. From inside, he was way off balance. A pass out in front there of Ipsaro, and the RedHawks nearly gave it away, but Ipsaro regathers, and Miami will set up on the offensive end of the floor. Miami leading by 6. Down the right lane, Boltman stops his feet on the baseline, pivoting around, looking for an option. He finds Mabry near wing, fakes the shot, now drives down center of the paint, trying to lay it up with the right hand, and he got rejected for Evansville. That was Hughes that was there. Big 6'10" freshman on the right side. A long three by Bobe, and that is way too hard. Settling a little bit, Gage Bobe was looking to get this crowd into it, but he was too strong. Boltman through the paint, tipped pass looking for Katecki in the corner. It's intercepted by Cuff, and Evansville will take possession. Hummerkoss over the timeline on the right wing, 11:43 to go in the second half. Miami leading by 6. Hummerkoss spins down the lane, now fades away, throws it up, and it rattles in. Ben Hummerkoss now up to 8 points for Evansville. And the crowd trying to get into it here with the Aces down 4. 52-48, Miami leads. Ipsaro at half court. Pressed by Bailey. Finds Mabry on the far side. Mabry double covered. He gets trapped, and he gave it away into the Miami bench. Evansville forces the turnover. The crowd is alive here at the Ford Center. Travis Steele wants a word with the official, trying to say that ball was tipped away from Ryan Mabry, but regardless, it'll be UE ball. Luckily, the RedHawks will get to put a damper in the momentum a little bit as we've reached a timeout on the floor. Miami got a big lead. They stretched it. It has since dwindled down to 4. 52-48, our score with the RedHawks out in front. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami Basketball on RedHawk Radio. .52-48, the lead for the Miami RedHawks over the Evansville Purple Aces. Wes Poley back with you here from the Ford Center in Evansville. RedHawks got the lead up to 7 and then 8 a couple of times throughout the past few minutes, but Evansville's built up a little bit of momentum, and just before the immediate timeout, forcing a turnover as Ryan Mabry got trapped right in front of his own bench and gave the ball away. Out the sideline, it will be Evansville ball, down 4 with 11:14 to go in half number 2. Hummerkoss, Hughes, Bailey, Cuff, Bobe, the 5 on the floor for Evansville. For Miami, it's Ipsaro, Cooper, Mabry, Katecki, Boltman. And Cuff will carry it the length of the floor for UE. Cross half court on the right wing, he hands to Bobe. Bobe over for Bailey, near side logo, he bounces it for Hughes. Hughes back for Bailey. Now Hughes again, left to the key. 15 to shoot, handed off for Bobe, tries to drive in, he lost control, it's stolen away by Ipsaro, and he got fouled as he tried to run that one quickly up the floor. The RedHawks had numbers, it would have been a 3-on-1. There was only one defender back for Evansville, but instead of a 3-on-1 on Ben Hummerkoss, the RedHawks will set up here. 10:55 to go second half, Miami leading by 4. As the RedHawks will inbound from just short of half court. Boltman in for Makai Cooper. And the RedHawks carry it forward. Ipsaro takes it across the timeline, right wing. Morris now top of the key. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself left of the key. He hands now for Boltman, who drives down the right lane. Kicks for Mabry in the corner, 3 on the way, and it's a line driver off the right side of the iron. Rebound on the strong side by Hummerkoss for UE. Hummerkoss has it in his hands on the left wing. Jukes past Mabry, throws far side. Bailey jabs, pulls up from the free throw line, and scores. You can see the talent. Chuck Bailey puts it on display. He's got 7 points. And Miami down, has seen their lead dwindle down to 2. Ipsaro over the far side. Boltman, left elbow for Morris. Now at the free throw line, Morris drives by his man, draws the blocking foul. He threw it down after the whistle. Wow, the crowd does not like that. That was a high-flying dunk by Jaquel Morris. He postered a defender, but it won't count, obviously, as a blocking foul was called as Morris drew contact right as he was starting to run down the right lane. Darishi Hunter, who was in some foul trouble with 3 personals, is on the bench. He now comes back on for Makai Cooper. 10:06 to go second half, and Miami leading 52-50. Boltman in, right elbow for Morris. Morris, 2 hands on the basketball, hands back. Ipsaro fakes the shot, jab, steps back, and cannot pull the trigger with the big defender in Josh Hughes right in his face. 10 to shoot. Ipsaro driving down. Wild kick for Mabry on the near side. He fakes the shot, makes his way inside the arc, shoots it up. It rattles around, no good. It's tipped around on the rebound. Last touch comes from Miami. RedHawk bench all frozen in disbelief, but it will be Evansville basketball here with 9:47 to go. And the Aces can tie it. Cuff carries it across half court. Hands at top of the key for Hummerkoss. Crossing back and forth. Morris took a spill. Hummerkoss for 3. Got it! Hummerkoss crossing up to Jaquel Morris. He took a tumble and he hit a 3 right in his face to give Evansville the lead by 1. 53-52 Aces. Miami hasn't scored in 3 minutes. Hunter on the right side. Over for Boltman here, nearly lost it. Now drives down the center of the lane. He catches contact. Whistle and an offensive foul. Long delay, but it will be a charge whistled on Miami's Bryce Boltman. Miami's still got 3 timeouts, and we might see one of them come out of Travis Steele's pocket momentarily if this wave of momentum continues for UE. 53-52 Aces with 9:13 to go in the second half. And it's Evansville basketball. Evan Ipsaro going off for Miami. And Bradley Dean back on for the RedHawks. Hummerkoss top of the key. Drives down on Morris, right elbow. Push back outside for Bailey. Bailey gets around the screen. Now over for Hummerkoss. Another right wing 3. Got it! Hummerkoss hits another. Travis Steele calls timeout. And this game has been turned on its head very quickly. 9-0 run over the last 3 minutes and change for Evansville. 14-3 run over the last 4.5. Aces have taken the lead over Miami 56-52 with 8:55 to go. That's the first time out of the second half called by Miami. They've got 2 remaining as Travis Steele will talk this one over. But Ben Hummerkoss with 2 huge shots. First, crossing over on Jaquel Morris. Got him to fall down and hit a highlight reel 3 to get the crowd into the game. And everything has gone Evansville's way since. A charge on the other end of the floor, and Hummerkoss hits another 3. The Aces have their first 2-possession lead since it was 5-0. Miami will have the basketball out of the timeout. RedHawks have not scored over the last 3 minutes and 53 seconds. They've got 3 turnovers in that span, for a grand total of 18 on the game. Ball is back in play. Boltman taking it up the court for Miami. Now Dean, across the timeline, jutting across. Bailey guarding him the whole way. He hands for Hunter, circling around the arc. Over to the right side of the key. Bounce just inside the arc for Morris. Now back for Hunter. 13 to shoot. Hunter moving down the right side. Steps back outside the arc. Dean over to the far wing. Boltman now driving in. 8 to shoot. Boltman putting his shoulder into Bobe. Boltman fades away with the foul, and he hits the shot. It had been a frustrating night to that point for Bryce Boltman. He was 1 for 5 from the field, but that's a huge momentum killer as Miami can quiet this crowd a little bit. A chance for a 3-point play for Bryce Boltman. Boltman knocks down the free throw, and the RedHawks get the lead back down to 1. 56-55, Evansville in front. 8:24 to go, second half. Cuff carrying it ahead on the right wing. Hands off for Hummerkoss. Hummerkoss surveys the floor. Cuts it across now at the right elbow. He turns it around, floats it up, and got it. 58-55, Evansville. Hummerkoss now up to 16 points. Dean over for Hunter, driving in. Hunter steps back and now will settle down. Top of the key. On the right elbow, a bounce pass finds Jaquel Morris just inside the arc. Morris now stepping outside the arc, hands off for Hunter. 10 to shoot. Hunter cutting it across on the free throw line. Over for Boltman. 3 on the left wing. Off the back iron, it got tipped and out of bounds, but the official whistling for a foul call, and it will go on Miami's Jaquel Morris. For Morris, that's his third. And it will give the ball back to Evansville here with the Aces leading. That's the 15th foul for Miami, and it takes us to the under 8 timeout. RedHawks trailing at immediate timeout for the first time all game. It's 58-55, Evansville leading. The last 2 media timeouts, the RedHawks have had a chance to talk things over after the momentum has turned UE's way. We're back after this. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at the Ford Center in Evansville. Evansville 58, Miami 55 with 7:45 to go. Evansville's made their last 5 field goals. RedHawks broke a scoreless streak on the and one from Bryce Boltman, but Miami has been unable to retie this game after the RedHawks led for the majority of both the first and second halves to this point. Evansville's had the lead for about the last 2 minutes or so. RedHawks shooting has cooled down a little bit. Miami still screaming hot from beyond the arc, 10 for 15. RedHawks, though, turned the ball over 18 times and are 3 for 9 from the stripe. Waiting on television to get us going again. It'll be Evansville basketball. They've also got the possession arrow. Each team still with 2 timeouts. Team fouls level at 5 aside. Miami showed press, but Evansville will play it long, and Bobe hands off for Hummerkoss, who takes it across the timeline, right across the center logo. Hummerkoss on the left wing, double teamed, pushes it down low for Hughes. Hughes trying to spin on Morris, throws it over the top of him, and it's too strong. Foul called on the rebound as Bailey came flying in. It looks like it's going to be on Miami, and it will be. Bradley Dean picks up the foul. That's his first, and it will give Evansville a second chance at life on this possession. Miami out rebounding the Aces 24-18. Thrown out to the top of the key. Bailey quickly into the corner. Hughes drives in, rises up from 20 feet, and it rolls off the rim and out. Rebound Darwishi Hunter for Miami. RedHawks down 3, 7:16 to play. Hunter cutting back and forth, leaps through the paint, throws it off the glass, and it swirls in. Darwishi Hunter, all but one of his attempts tonight had come from outside the arc, but he hits it from just outside the paint, and the RedHawks are within 1. 7 minutes to play, 58-57 Aces. Hummerkoss on the right flank, tried to drive baseline on Mabry. On the right side of the paint, Hummerkoss throws it down low, wide open. Hughes just touches that one off the rim and in, 4-2. Evansville back up by 3. Hunter over the timeline left wing. Into the middle for Bradley Dean. Dean left elbow. Now it's Jaquel Morris in the same spot. Back up for Dean, top of the key. Dean down low to Morris. Stops his feet, puts it up. He got blocked. Hughes with the rejection. Evansville going on the other way. Across the timeline, Bailey to the near side. Hummerkoss another triple, and he hit it. Last 3 trays for UE have all come from Hummerkoss, and Evansville leads by 6. Now Boltman with a left wing 3 for Miami, and it's off target. It's a good look, but Bryce Boltman can't knock it down. And now with 6:01 to play, Evansville leading by 6. Bobe catches a pass on the far sideline, and his heel was on the sideline. And Evansville will turn it over to Miami, and Bobe visibly frustrated as a mistake quiets this crowd down a little bit and gives Miami the ball back. Evansville could have gone for a real kill shot there. Game still far from over, 5:50 to go. RedHawks down by 6. Dean is trapped. He's able to release, though, for Darwishi Hunter on the right wing. Cross-court pass for Boltman. He hands off for Mabry, and he traveled on his way in. Mabry shuffling his feet. He's whistled for the violation, and it's just another in a long line of turnovers for Miami. RedHawks will now bring on Ian Elmer. He has not seen time since the first half after picking up 3 early fouls. He comes on for Bryce Boltman. 5:37 to go. Aces by 6. Top of the key, Gage Bobe feeds far side. Hummerkoss another 3, and that one's off the back iron. Jumping high to get the rebound. Nice play by Ian Elmer for the RedHawks. And across the timeline, getting fouled, Bradley Dean able to hurry Bailey enough to make that mistake. Bailey gets his 3rd personal, 16th foul for the Aces, so Miami shooting from here on out. For now, it's an inbound with 27 on the shot clock for the RedHawks. Bradley Dean has it far side of the floor, just across half court. Dribbles it onto the UE logo at center court. Waves Elmer inside. Dean bounces left elbow for Morris. Morris back outside for Dean. With 13 to shoot, Dean floats it up top for Morris, navigating traffic down low, throws it off the glass, too much on it, and it's taken away. Evansville running the floor. Cuff goes up for Bailey, and it was too much. Couldn't get the alley-oop, and now the RedHawks might have numbers the other way. Dean settles, now drives, steps back, throws it up, and he got blocked by Hummerkoss, who gets fouled on his way down. Bradley Dean, a bit of a settle type of shot there. It was not the look the RedHawks were looking for in that situation. Hummerkoss tipped the ball out of bounds, but prior to that, on his way down after recording the block, he got fouled by Dean. And so with a 6-point lead and 4:54 to go, Evansville walks the floor to go shoot 1-1, as that's the 7th team foul on Miami. 63-57 Aces. First free throw is up, and it had too much on it. Rebound Ian Elmer for the RedHawks, and Miami catches a break. Dean on the far wing. In for the free throw line, this is Jaquel Morris. Back out for Ian Elmer. 15 to shoot. Elmer double teamed. Releases for Dean on the far side. Floated up into the post. Coming down with it, Morris spins, gets underneath, and can't score. Cuff will slow things down for Evansville. Might take some pace off this here a little bit and try to work this clock. 4:20 remaining in the game. 63-57 Aces. Hummerkoss with Dean in his face, throws it off the front iron, gets his own rebound, and he gets fouled on the second effort. Miami was dominant on the boards early on, and statistically that would still be the case as indicated. But the gap has narrowed, and it really feels like the RedHawks have been outworked over the last 10 minutes. Ian Elmer going to come off for Bryce Boltman. And some free throws coming up here for Evansville's Ben Hummercuss, 6'9" senior combo guard forward. Miami now going to bring on 2 late substitutions. Evan Ipsaro and Makai Cooper on for Ryan Mabry and Bradley Dean. So the RedHawks going with a little bit of a smaller lineup here. Still got 3 bigs on the floor, though. And Boltman along with Hunter and Potter. First free throw is put up, and it is good. Off the roll on the front end of the 1-and-1. Evansville leading by 7. It's a 3-possession game. 6-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes for the Aces. Second free throw up, and it is true. Aces lead by 8. They'll bring on Strawbridge Jr. and Toomey. And the crowd on their feet. 4:11 to go. Miami trailing 65-57. Ipsaro across the timeline. Hip-high left-handed dribble. Boltman hands back to Ipsaro on the left wing. Carries it to the center court logo. Feeds Boltman on the far side. Boltman up to the top of the key. Now to Ipsaro. 10 to shoot. RedHawks have no penetration. Potter just inside the arc down the middle. Back for Hunter. 5 to shoot. RedHawks have nothing. Hunter circles, gets the drive down low, puts it off the underside of the rim, and the rebound is picked up by Hummercuss. Floated ahead, Strawbridge Jr. floats it up looking for Toomey, but the alley-oop attempt fails as Toomey slips and falls underneath the basket. And another break that the RedHawks catch, as that could have been the exclamation with 3:38 to go, would have given the Aces the game's first double-digit lead. Instead, the RedHawks will get the ball back down 8. 3:38 to go, and we've reached a timeout on the floor. Finish is coming up here from the Ford Center. RedHawks trying to battle back. You're listening to Miami Basketball on RedHawk Radio. Back here at the Ford Center, it's Evansville 65, Miami 57 with 3:38 to go in the second half. Lucas Poley with you here from southwestern Indiana. Thanks so much for joining us on opening night. RedHawks led by as many as 8 and have led for the majority of this game, but Evansville storming back over the last about 10 minutes. And the Aces have what is tied for the game's largest lead. RedHawks are lucky it wasn't more just before the break. An alley-oop attempt that should have been easy money for Yassine Toomey. Didn't connect as Toomey slipped on a spot underneath the basket and fell and wasn't able to go up high to collect it. There was nobody back defensively for the RedHawks, but Miami catches a break, and for now, they're still in the game. RedHawks will shoot the bonus next time they get fouled. 16 fouls for Evansville, 8 for the RedHawks. Miami with possession out of the timeout. Ipsaro, left-handed dribble. Cross half court. Going back and forth. He feeds Potter on the far side. Potter drives baseline, floats it up, and gets fouled. Falls short on the shot, but Reese Potter, the 7'1" freshman, showing a little bit of confidence there to drive that we haven't really seen out of him all game. And he will go to the line to shoot some free throws. Potter's first free throw is up and good. And that's his first collegiate point. Freshman from Lexington, Kentucky, Lexington Catholic High School. And he misses the second. So it's a 7-point game. Miami pressing a little bit, but Evansville navigates it quickly as Gage Bobe has it in his hands in the front court. Ace is going to slow this down. Strawbridge Jr. at half court. Over for Chuck Bailey. Back to Strawbridge Jr. 10 on the shot clock. Bailey on the near wing. Drives to the key. Strawbridge Jr. into the right elbow. Toomey kicks outside. Bobe for three. Heavily contested. In and out. Offensive rebound by Strawbridge Jr. and he gets fouled. That absolutely cannot happen for the RedHawks. 2:53 to go, and they give up an offensive board and commit a foul. And 1-and-1 free throws on the way for Kenny Strawbridge Jr. First free throw put up, and it's off the mark. RedHawks get the rebound. It's Bryce Boltman that comes down with it. Boltman across the timeline, hands for Cooper. Thought about the drive, instead he'll back it out. 2:43 to go, RedHawks trailing by 7, 65-58. Boltman right of the key, double team, feeds near side for Ipsaro. Ipsaro slashing across the paint, pulls up, and gets the roll over the front of the rim. Ipsaro scores, that cuts the lead down to 5. Across the timeline on the left wing. Hummerkoss up for Bobe, back for Hummerkoss. 18 on the shot clock at the left elbow. It's tossed down by Toomey to Strawbridge Jr., who will carry it back outside. Strawbridge Jr. drives the paint, throws it up off the glass, and it's too high. Picked up by the RedHawks' Bryce Boltman. Ahead for Ipsaro, open look in transition for three, in and out, and the rebound is picked up by Toomey for Evansville. Miami could have got within 2. Instead, they stay down 5 with 1:55 to go. Toomey hands over for Bailey, waiting on the logo. Bleeds 10 seconds off the shot clock. Bailey now drives down the left lane, went up, throws it off the backboard and in. Bailey looked like he was going to go for the dunk and then just tossed it up there and got the bank to put Evansville back up 7. 1:36 to go. 67-60, Aces out in front. Hunter, top of the key. Down for Potter on the right elbow, just pulls up and it's no good. Rebound for Evansville by Strawbridge Jr. Hummerkoss now carrying it across the timeline. And with 1:18 to go, he'll pull it back. Aces up 7. When do you start fouling here if you're the RedHawks? Bobe circling it around, threads it through, gets it back, lays it up and missed the open look. But there's a foul on the rebound, and it will go against the RedHawks. Potter gets the foul call. Had it not been for that foul, the RedHawks would have gone the other way. 5 against 3. Man, this is just indicative of how things have gone for Miami down the stretch. They've picked up a lot of fouls down low when fighting for rebounds, and with 1:06 to go, Evansville up 7 will shoot free throws. Chuck Bailey is 3 for 4 on the night. First one is up, and it is good. Ryan Mabry back in for Miami to replace Bryce Boltman, Minute and 6 seconds remaining. Miami still with 2 timeouts, but down 8 points. Second free throw coming up here from Bailey. Right-handed shot up in the air, and good. 3-possession game, Aces up 9. Miami will roll it up the floor. Hunter with it. Quickly across the line, crossing back and forth. Hunter tried to step it back. Instead, he goes for Ipsaro. Back to Hunter. Pulls up, shoots, and it's short. Rebound is picked up by Hummerkoss for Evansville. with under a minute to play. 50 seconds to go. It's taken across the timeline, and Miami for now is not fouling after it's put into the front court. Now the foul will be given by Darwishi Hunter. .46 seconds remain, and Miami trailing by 9. Ben Hummerkos, poetic that he shoots the free throws as he puts the first one up and gets a bad bank. Doesn't go for him. He hit 2 big threes that really invigorated this Purple Ace offense, got him the lead, and they kept it from about the midway mark of the half all the way through till now. Second free throw rolls off the rim as well. So it's an 0 for 2 trip for Hummerkos, and we still don't have a double-digit lead in the game. 69-60 Purple Aces. Mabry getting nothing. Will just run it towards the basket and lay it in for 2. Clock is stopped with 34.8 seconds left, and Travis Steele will call his 3rd timeout. He's got 1 remaining. Miami down 7 points now with 34.8 to go. Evansville still got 2 timeouts. RedHawks have been pressuring, but it hasn't been a full court press yet. So that will likely come out for Miami now for the first time. So they're going to need to either force a turnover or get a foul. Fortunate thing for the RedHawks is that Evansville has severely cooled off at the free throw line. After shooting over 80% in the first half, they're 7 for 12 for a 58% clip here in half number 2. Still, the Aces at a heavy advantage. They lead 69-62 with 34.8 seconds remaining. If this game does not go the RedHawks' way, it certainly feels as if they gave the game away more so than getting beat. Turnovers and bad fouling down the stretch. Few key possessions that came up empty when they settled for some less than ideal looks. This is going to be some tough film to watch from the opener if this scoreline holds. Very preventable stuff, which can be viewed as a positive and a negative for Miami. An Evansville team that Miami probably should have beaten here on the road. They find themselves down big here late. RedHawks going to need something. Try and turn this around. 34.8 seconds left. Aces lead by 7. Miami going to set up the press. Evansville with all 4 guys lined up, 1 on each side at half court, 2 on the center court logo. They're struggling to get the ball in, and they turn it over, it looks like. Throw is off the leg, but actually they're going to call a foul on Darwishi Hunter for Miami as Hughes is out of control there and had it go off his leg and out of bounds, but the indication from the official was originally unclear, but it was called a foul on Miami's Darwishi Hunter. And that's Darwishi's 5th. He'll have to come out of the game. Ian Elmer comes on for him. Evansville shooting free throws. Joshua Hughes, 85% last season, playing semi-pro in Australia, and he hits the first. That extends the lead to 8. Next free throw on the way, and it rattles away. Picked up for Miami by Elmer. He feeds Cooper on the far side. RedHawks will carry it up quickly. Cooper down the right lane, tosses it up off the glass and in for 2. And Miami will call their final timeout as they've cut the lead down to 6 now with 26.6 seconds remaining. So the shot clock turns off. And RedHawks will talk this over. Nearly forced a turnover running the press there last time out. They'll try to finish the job this time around. Get the ball back into their hands. Full 2-possession game, 26.6 seconds remaining in our second half. Evansville 70, Miami 64. It's a 30-second timeout called by Travis Steele. Miami leading scorer Darwishi Hunter has fouled out of the game with 5. 21 points for Darwishi in his first game in a RedHawk uniform after a couple seasons donning the MAC rival Northern Illinois' jersey. Leading scorer on the court right now is Ryan Mabry. For the RedHawks, it's Elmer, Ipsaro, Cooper, Mabry, Potter. And the same press set up by Miami. It's bounced in for Bobe. He almost got trapped in the corner, but now it's released over to the far side. Bailey carries it across half court, goes for Hughes, and he gets fouled by Elmer with 20.9 seconds remaining in regulation. So Elmer gets his fourth. And for the RedHawks, this will send Joshua Hughes to the line to shoot two. And he got the first, no problem. He went 1 for 2 the last time he was at the line on the last possession for UE. Second free throw up, and he got it. Miami down 8 again, 72-64. Ipsaro quickly up the floor, and he will pull up from long range and can't connect. Rebound batted around. It's scooped up outside the arc by Miami's Ian Elmer. Back for Ipsaro, over for Mabry. Now a three from him. That's off the back iron. Rebound fought for. It's loose on the floor. 3 seconds are remaining on the clock. We get whistles all over the place. And it looks like a jump ball is called. Evansville's got the possession arrow, but that's going to be it with 3.2 seconds to go. It's going to be Evansville basketball. And they're going to be able to run this clock out. 72-64, the Aces lead. Miami will apply the press, but down 8 with only 3 seconds to go. This will be it. Evansville struggling to get the ball in. Elmer with the steal, but he can't get a shot up. And at the buzzer, the time expires on the game. And that's it here from the Ford Center. So despite Miami leading for about 25 minutes of this game, between the 5-minute mark of the first half and midway through half number 2, RedHawks cannot finish the job on the road, and they let it slip late against Evansville. They fall to the team that finished in the basement of the Missouri Valley last season with a 1-19 conference record. For the second straight year, the RedHawks fall to the Purple Aces final score, 72-64. Stuff to like, stuff to throw in the trash can for Miami after the opener, but that's the nature of first games, and especially with a young team, you figured the growing pains might show, and they certainly did, and then some here tonight. RedHawks will go back to the drawing board and be back at it in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge against Texas State on Saturday. We got a full slate of games here on Red Hawk Radio this week. Make sure to tune in for them all. Next time we're on the air is in 2 nights on Wednesday as midweek action makes its return to Yager Stadium in Oxford. Miami football team looking to pick up another win as they have been on a roll. Avion Smith will get his second straight start for the RedHawks, who will face off against the Zips from Akron as Miami's in the driver's seat to take the MAC East title and try to set themselves up for a rematch with the Toledo Rockets in Detroit in early December. We'll be back for more this weekend. Miami basketball and Miami hockey on the air. The Red Hawk hockey team will take on Colorado College in week 2 of NCHC play. 7:05 starts on both Friday and Saturday. Jeff Middleton will be with you on Friday night, and I'll be back for the call on Saturday night between the Red Hawks and the Tigers. Next time we'll have a basketball broadcast for you is on Saturday morning as the RedHawks in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge will take on the Texas State Bobcats. Opening tip is at 11 a.m. Special early tip-off time for the RedHawks against the Bobcats from Millett Hall on Saturday. So we thank you so much for tuning in here tonight, as that'll wrap up our coverage of the Red Hawk Radio men's basketball opener on the road. Final score from the Ford Center, Evansville 72 and Miami 64. We'll see you on Wednesday for Red Hawk football. Until then, Luke West Poley saying so long. Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of Miami basketball on Red Hawk Radio.